Today, I have Divyakumar Jain, or we call him as Monu. Today, as the driving force behind Jaihind Group and New Millennium Steel Limited.
On a lighter note, when people ask me, I say that trading is like flirting.
Basically, any person who have actually survived in this industry, or any industry for that matter, should take care of both sides, which is the short term and the long term.
It's a deadly combination. Kerala, the beauty about Kerala is they are very fast in getting
Trying
the
new
new
things.
new things. It was never about growing big. It was about growing deeper. From the office to the factory floor, the way people work changed, and that's incredible. You really think that it is a challenge to have an industrial Kerala? We are not building steel. We are building trust, just that it's made of steel. For any company to exist, you need to know the reason why. Steel industry for me is the place to be, because for the next 20-30 years, that's your playground. There is something called as LSG now, light gauge steel sections. So light gauge steel sections is going to revolutionize the way that you're going to build houses in future also. I owe it to YPO that they've given me so much of learning that I am able to implement that in my business and grow. When you move from being a family owned business to an institution, what is happening is that you're giving that responsibility and the power to those people to take it forward. We all have been fortunate enough that we come from abundance in Kerala.
To be honest, I didn't expect that this podcast will go like this. For me, I think the first takeaway was the girlfriend and marriage. Welcome to the new episode of Good to Great series. Today, I have Divyakumar Jain, or we call him as Monu, born into a family that came to Kochi decades ago for the spice trade. Monu represents the next evolution of Kerala's trading spirit, one that moved from commodities to construction, from quick trades to long term creation. When his family entered the steel business in 1996, it was about buying, selling, and turning volumes. But when Mono took charge in 2006, he wanted to build something deeper, to move up and down the value chain, to manufacture, to brand, and to leave a mark that outcast market cycles. Today, as the driving force behind Jaihind Group and New Millennium Steel Limited, he has expanded the business into multiple verticals, from steel manufacturing under the Dmax brand to PVC boards, stainless steel water tanks, exploring new materials and sustainable solutions for modern India. Under his leadership, New Millennium Steel also took the bold leap of going public on the SME exchange, embracing transparency and investor accountability, a rare move for a Kerala-based Marwari family business.
It's true.
Beyond the boardroom, Monu serves as the learning chair of YPO Kerala, where he is known for his meticulous planning, calm leadership, and ability to bring diverse entrepreneurs together. In today's episode of Molten Dreams, we'll explore how a natural trader learned to play the long game of manufacturing, what it means to build brands in an non-industrial state like Kerala, and how courage, curiosity, and conviction continue to shape his molten journey. So, welcome, Monu. Thank you for coming for this Good to Great series. Any opening remarks from you?
Thank you. And I'm really excited. First of all, molten dreams, I really like the term because molten means liquid and dreams should keep flowing.
Yeah.
So I really love the tagline. And thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, Monu. So let's go to the evolution phase, or origins to evolution, from spices to steel. Your family came to Kochi for the spice trade before shifting into commodities. So what triggered that move?
So I'll just give you a background about my dad's journey. He came to this beautiful land called Kerala in the late 1970s, and he came here to procure spices. He loved the place, and he said, "I want to get settled." So he used to procure spices and send it to his elder brother in Siliguri. That's how the journey started. Slowly, he got into procurement of pulses, and he used to supply to the government, the supply co. In the late 80s, he got into export of spices to US and Europe and things like that. And in the mid 90s, he saw that India was getting more liberal, and infrastructure push was there from the government. And so he saw that steel was the new spice, and he wanted to uh, take use of the opportunity. The other thing that actually helped him was that he was a Marwari who came and settled in Kerala. So there were a lot of other Marwadis who started Tor. At that time, there was Tor. There was no TMT. Tor manufacturing in Bangalore, Chennai, Goa. All of them wanted a gateway into Kerala, and at that time, it wasn't that easy, and so there was language barrier. There was no network, and you can't just overnight do that. So they approached Dad, and Dad was willing to do that, and he took that bold step. So in a sense, everything remained the same. That means he knew the art of trade to create network, to create trust, to make sure that there was quality supply. All that remained. It's only the product that changed. So that was the journey from spices to steel.
Basically, your dad saw the opportunity on the liberal India and took the infrastructure push.
Yeah, yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
yeah. And when you joined in 2006, what was the thought process? What do you wanted to reinvent, or it was you're just trying to fit into the new space?
So, so let me give you a background. I was working for a bank, uh, American Express. I was heading the credit card divisions. Uh, I had a really good lifestyle. Then my dad called me up in 2006 and he said, "End of story, come back." And as tradition Marwari family, and I got into trade, and so he said, "Come back." And I got back from a extremely professional company to an extremely traditional conservative Marwari family, which used to still use the Baikhata system of accounting. I don't know if you know what Baikhata system.
I
It's a
think
different way
yeah,
of accounting
yeah,
for
yeah.
Gujaratis and Marwadis, and I didn't understand that. So I inherited an extremely amazing team, a very dynamic, dedicated team. But what I had to put in place was all the processes, get tech in. At that time, technology was just slowly coming in. So get tech in, get more process driven. At that time, for me, believe me or not, the first challenge was actually to convince people to move from, they used to write bills by hand. And they were convinced that this is the best way to do it because there's no mistake in that. And for me, my first challenge was to convince them, let's move from this to computerized billing. So, from there is when we started this whole journey. It's
So,
quite interesting.
so when you say that you are in Kerala, you are more of a Mallu and than a Marwari, as far as I know.
Yeah, yeah,
But
I'm a
what are
hybrid.
the traits you can take from both sides?
So, if you see, Marwadis are now spread all across India. In the early 90s, when there was famine, everyone moved with actually nothing. And they all were hustlers.
Yeah.
And they hustled their way up. And so, one thing that we all were taught and we learned was to be grounded, to know our roots, and to make sure that we are agile
Yeah.
wherever we go, and if should be a shift, we are ready for that shift. So those were the things that came in. As being in Kerala, I became more process driven. I made it more strategic, and little more relaxed way of working.
So basically, the Marwari hustling and the Kerala processes.
Yeah.
If you can want to name it like that. So again, on the evolution side, see, from trading to manufacturing, was it a conscious long-term plan or a market-driven evolution?
So definitely market driven evolution, because see, it's very recent that we got into manufacturing. It's only we started getting into manufacturing since 2016. We used to be predominantly traders, and one thing we realized that as the infrastructure and the IT revolution is growing at the pace at which it is growing, the distance between the end user and the manufacturer would start shrinking, and maybe in future the uh, relevance of a trader might not remain. So that led to us thinking that we should start going back or having a backward integration and get into manufacturing. So that was the thought process. We wanted to also control our supply chain. We wanted to control brand and quality to have consistency. Basically, as a trader, you're relying on a lot of external sources. Say, for example, suppliers, the market, luck, all that. So we wanted to change that and have control over those things. So that was the whole thought process from being a trader to a manufacturer. And for me, I still feel we are evolving, because it's been a recent sort of a move. We still have our trading division, which still goes on as it was going, and now we are strengthening it through our backward integration move into manufacturing.
But having said that, see, the trader thrives on speed, timing, cash flow, whereas the manufacturer is also all on process, capital, etc. So how do you actually manage both mindset?
See, it's very challenging, to be honest. As a trader, you have to, when you wear the trader's cap, you have to start thinking like a trader, and be that, be flexible, agile, all those kind of things. And as a manufacturer, you have to have patience. You should get process in place, innovation. How do you make sure that you're creating market for yourself? So those are the kind of differentiation. And when on a lighter note, when people ask me, I say that trading is like flirting. You can flirt with your products, right? But manufacturing is like getting married. You're dedicated to it. Uh, that's a long term sort of a vision that you have. So once you're into manufacturing, you can't look back.
But can you manage both?
I'm trying. I'm doing both.
Both the flirting part and the marriage part. So end of the day, I'll tell you, because this has influenced me personally. Because Kumaramangalam Birla has always said that when all the storyboards are said about the long term, but he has always believed that if you have a long term, but if you don't have the short term in place, you can never go for the long term. Everyone says that okay, go for the long term, go for the long term. But if you aim for the long term, and if you don't have the capital, if you don't have the uh, required resources to take care of the short term, you will actually fall in place. So basically, any person who have actually survived in this industry, or any industry for that matter, should take care of both sides, which is the short term and the long term. It's like you need to be flirting and you need to be married.
Yeah.
So I think you have given a new thought for us.
It's a deadly combination, to be
deadly
honest. It's absolutely essential, because to be into manufacturing, your first thing is that, are you able to, so whenever, see, in manufacturing, once you switch on a machine, you can't switch it off. You have to keep processing, you have to keep feeding it. So until you don't have a market, don't get into it. And once you have a trading, you have set your network, this is your pipeline. So whatever you feed in, it's going to go into that pipeline. So and it's very critical and essential that you have that. So I feel having a trading background and then getting into manufacturing is an extremely deadly combination.
Tell me, Monu, see, the trading habits, no. What has helped you in the manufacturing also, like on the vice versa? If trading mindset has something on the trading mindset has helped you on the manufacturing, or on the manufacturing mindset has helped you on the trading business.
So let's say, as a trader, I know how a trader thinks. I can speak the language. I know exactly what they require, right? Now, when I get into manufacturing, I know what he feels on the other side. So I'm able to speak to him in that language. I'm able to provide him the kind of comfort, or at the answers to the question that he requires at that point of time. So I'm able to do that. So as a trader, it gives me an edge, uh, to know exactly what the feeling is on the other side, and as a manufacturer, I'm able to answer those questions, to solve those problems that a trader has. So definitely, and again, as a trader, I know the problems
Yeah.
for myself, so I'm able to better that in my manufacturing. So I'm able to, I know that if there is a consistency issue, there is a supply chain issue. So is there a brand issue that I need to face, or is there a problem that these guys are facing, something that has happened recently, which a trader will know because he has the pulse of the market, the manufacturer might not. So I'm able to connect the dots.
So I just want to give a reference with my life also on the. So two people I follow very closely is Warren Buffett and Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
Hmm.
So both are very long-term people who are actually made money in the long term, but two different traits. Warren Buffett never took short-term calls, whereas Rakesh Jhunjhunwala with the Rare Enterprises, he always had a trading book, which he always spends 9 to 3:30 on that. And what he had understood is, so he could identify the new trends in the market or new products in the market. Whereas Warren Buffett never took any stock which he didn't understand. And to be honest, he actually missed the whole Magnificent Seven ride. The new technology ride, he didn't understand.
Hmm.
Obviously, he has the ultimate compounding of the Coca-Colas of the world, but he never had Google, Facebook, or anyone for that matter. Whereas Rakesh Jhunjhunwala always had that the in thing to do that thing. So two people are successful, but personally, I value more Rakesh Jhunjhunwala to do that. In my personal this one also, I do have a trading book and also as a investment book. Obviously, money will be made on an investment book, but trading book actually keeps me updated with the market and connected with the new trends and understanding of the thing. So in drawing parallel to what you are saying, I think wearing both hats is very interesting and incredible to have.
Absolutely. And if you ask my dad, he's more inclined towards trading. He loves that,
That
that motion.
energy,
He loves that, get up in the morning to know what the market is,
that
what the trend
adrenaline
is.
rush.
Let's go get that. But that's, if you ask him, and he's ready to explore new things, new products every time he wants to do something new. So if you ask my dad, he will definitely be more inclined towards trading than the other side.
And for everyone's knowledge, like what I was learning about Divyakumar Jain or Monu initially, I heard that there is one guy who imports the whole ship for him alone. The one whole ship will be for Jain Group. So that has been what. That's how I actually knew about Monu. That's the first thing I knew about. That was purely on the trading side. No, so mostly
Yeah,
from
that
China.
was straight. Yeah.
And that was how many years back?
So, in from 2012, I we were into, so again, like I told you, we were into steel. We were doing torch steel. We were doing angle channel beams, and what I wanted to do was grow horizontal and grow vertical. So as a part of my horizontal growth, I went into more different products that we could trade in. What I realized was Kerala is a coastal
Yeah.
place, and there was a lot of trade of black pipes. That is the the MS pipes.
Yeah.
galvanizing was not the trend at that point of time. The whole market was about 12,000 tons, 12 to 15,000 tons. And I saw that pipe was traded only by these guys who had pipe shops. That's the guys who we had our own network. So what I did was I got into this where I said, let's revolutionize the way people are looking into galvanized products. Earlier it was little difficult because galvanized products were expensive, but they didn't understand that an ms 3 pipe vis-a-vis a galvanized 1.2 pipe, the strength, reliability and everything is better in the other one. Eventually it will be more efficient and more economical also for them. So Kerala, the beauty about Kerala is they are very fast in getting
Trying
the
new
new
things.
new things. So from 12 13,000 ton market in 2012, today the market size is about 40,000 tons.
40,000.
And we were able to push this trend. You know, we had fabricators meet. Our entire channel was being then given this. So it was not just the pipe shops, but also the other shops and retailers, distributors that got into this. The other thing that I saw at that point of time was the pipes, when they were manufactured in India, they had burr. It was just like in a truck, you would just see this truck behind a lot of pipes. It used to look ugly, and there was no branding, there was no nothing. Like pipe was pipe. It was just like a commodity.
Yeah.
When I used to go to China, and that was my uh, say passion or whatever since 2008, I used to go to Canton Fair, see new products, new things, and whatever I liked, I used to say that, you know what, this is going to click, let's bring that. So that's how even pipes got in. I saw the pipes in China was so beautiful. They had proper marking, punching. It used to be bundled. There's no burr. The cutting was seamless. It was really nice. So I thought it's such a beautiful product. Why does it look ugly in India? So let's start bringing it.
You're actually describing like a pretty good girlfriend.
Yeah. So they say that when it was when we used to put these in the trucks, it used to be like a newlywed wife or a bride. Sorry, newlywed bride who looks, you make it look aesthetically good. So that was the whole thing, and it caught up. People realized the quality was better. They realized the feel was better. They realized that, you know uh, this is a product that I can put in my house and I can even expose it. Earlier pipes were either painted and then they had to get finished elsewhere, but we got the finished ones.
So on the manufacturing, so you have manufacturing under Jain Group and also New Millennium Steels.
Yeah.
Correct. So the going up and down the value chain, what is the current situation and what is your future?
See, we wanted to stop being passengers and we wanted to be drivers of our own industry. So, like I said before, as a trader, you're relying on a lot of external factors, your suppliers, market, luck, like I said. But we wanted to have better control on these kind of things. With Jaihind, we gave one of the best networks that we can have in the steel industry. From Kasaragod to Kanyakumari, we had the best network. With manufacturing and New Millennium in place, we gave it more strength and structure. So the thing was that we were able. It was never about growing big. It was about growing deeper,
Deeper.
with roots in brand and consistency. So that was the whole thought process at that point of time.
Okay. Going deeper was the basic thought process we had.
Yeah.
And also on the manufacturing facilities, where have you set up the whole manufacturing facilities?
So we have one manufacturing facility in Mala, and we are talking about steel, right?
Yeah, all put together. You can both the Jaihind and the New
So we have manufacturing. So to give you, we have three verticals: steel, aluminium, and PVC.
Okay.
For steel, we have manufacturing in Kerala, in Karnataka, and in Tamil Nadu. In aluminium, we have a manufacturing in Kanjikot, and PVC also we have manufacturing in Kanjikot. So, like I said, we since 2016 we wanted to go do backward integration of all the products that we were trading in. So that's what we started doing.
And also on the IPO journey, like what was the thought process on the IPO journey? Because you are getting into a new ball game altogether. Like the accountability statement completely changes, and you know the stock prices can go up and down. People can uh, people can love you, hate you, do all these things, and compliance requirements are much higher. Why did you take that jump? And are you happy about it?
So we started New Malayalam in 2017, and that was one of our new baby that we were nurturing. And every year we were growing from capacity. Like we had one line, then next year we had another line. We were growing our capacity slowly, organically. 2022, 23, we stumbled upon this idea of what next, because we wanted to get better efficiencies. We wanted to go into solar, and a lot of other things were there. And we said, growing organically will take a lot of time. What next? So we stumbled upon this idea of going SME, and we didn't hear about any SME, any manufacturer or any company in Kerala who went into the SME platform. So that was quite fearful, but exciting at the same time. So going IPO, it's like you're on a stage and somebody's put a spotlight on you.
Yeah.
You can't see anyone over there, but everyone is seeing what you do. Every move of yours is being watched. So that's how I felt, being vulnerable. Good thing about us was that we were clean on books. We were very transparent that point of time. So that didn't have a issue. But the thing was accountability. Today, earlier, we were accountable for ourselves. We used to. I didn't have to answer to anybody, right? I'll do what I felt like doing. But now it's a whole host of responsibilities. Accountability is there, so you're answerable to a lot of people. So that changed. What also changed was from the office to the factory floor. The way people work changed, and that's incredible because they all felt accountable, responsible, for not just us but to a larger audience. So that changed, and that was quite new to see. To answer to your question, yes, of course, I'm very happy that we took that move. We wanted to feel what it is because we are very conservative as a business family. But getting that was our first baby step to get into SME IPO, and it was a beautiful journey. Loved it, and I think we have more in the foray now. We understand how these things work. So we have our flagship company also that we are wanting to go. We are working towards it now.
So, what is your future plan for going transition to the main board and any other uh, plans for New Malayalam?
So we were approached by a few people even out of India, that we are looking at a completely different space. Like you earlier you said about commodities, right? We are consciously moving into product segments, and we see there's a huge opportunity in the steel building segments. So in Mangalore we are setting up a steel PEB, pre-engineered
Yeah,
building, and I think this is going to be India's first integrated uh, PEB building with galvanizing facility.
Okay.
And our whole vision is that, so we had done a study. We saw that the PEB segment is growing at a speed of 15 to 18% CAGR, and that is not only in India, across. So people are changing the way they are going to see the buildings. You would soon see buildings made of steel and glass. And so that is the kind of segment we are getting into. That is our next big step that we are taking.
And little bit on, I think in your IPO, it's already mentioned that the solar. You also said solar power expansion.
Yeah, yeah.
And is that a natural business thought process or a sustainability thought process?
Both.
Both.
So today, as a group, just in solar, we have more than 3 megawatt of power that we are generating. Um, what it actually does, it improves efficiency, reduces cost. So from the business point of view, it's great. From uh, the ESG point of view, we are following those guidelines and we are moving towards it. And also the fact that we don't know, maybe in future the power requirement is going to go so high. uh, we wanted to make sure that at least we are reliable or self-reliant on this. So that was the whole thought process behind that.
People always fear setting up manufacturing facilities in Kerala because of the land, labor, all kind of costs involved into it. What has been your journey so far, and what is your future prospects for this state?
You really think that it is a challenge to have an industry in Kerala?
For us, it was a challenge because for our seafood exports, we had to shut down operations in Kerala and move out to Tamil Nadu, Andhra, uh, and Surat for that matter. So for us, it was like that.
As of today, I feel this government is extremely proactive. We are one of the best industrial state, I would say, where the government is giving incentives for people to come there, creating ecosystems so that you can have better industries. And what better place than Kerala? We have the port. Our supply chain can be very, very efficient. If you look at laborers, right? People who have come from outside, we have laborers who are with us for more than 20, 25 years. They've come here, their children are studying in schools, they are growing up, and the kind of ecosystem that they have, the quality of life that they are having in Kerala, there's nobody else you can have. So you have more dedicated manpower, skilled manpower is available. The government is extremely proactive. I think it's a great place to do your manufacturing today in Kerala.
Maybe I think we should also think differently because we shut operations way back in 2008 and today we are at 2025. So I think lots have changed. And like you said, the Kerala mindset also are changing definitely. So we are also trying to attract a lot of manufacturing. So definitely it's a good move and happy to see that you are committed to this state to bring a lot of jobs into this state. You told me about the PVC boards.
Right.
Can you explain more on the PVC boards? Instead of, I think you said your visualization is replacing the plywood boards. Is that possible?
See, like I told you earlier, from 2008-9, what I used to do is I used to go to these fairs, see great products, try to see if I can bring it in. That's when I saw this board. It looked like PVC, like a plywood, this thing. I thought it would be a great replacement opportunity because at that point I was thinking, you know, you can't cut trees. Tree pulp would be rare or more expensive in future, and a lot of that thought process went in, and I thought that let's go green. PVC should be the answer to this. So I started bringing this product as and used to trade. At that time, the market was 5 crore per month. That was the market size in Kerala. And this product was only in Kerala. There's nobody else who used to use this product. And we started seeing growth in this, and people started accepting this. This is termite proof, it's water resistant, it is lifelong. Once you put in, then you can forget about it. It has the feel of wood, it looks like wood. You can't differentiate today. All your kitchen cabinets and everything today are made of this product. So I knew that this is a replacement product. It's a substitute, but it is a conscious decision that people would take moving from cutting trees to getting into this, and the advantages were great. The growth at which people started using this, and now it has become a phenomena across India. So it's a sunshine industry. There is no one who's got, there's no company that is listed today in this space. So we thought we should be the first ones. We are working towards it. We started manufacturing this product in 2020, and the growth potential for this product is absolutely phenomenal.
So this is the new thing what you are banking on, the PVC.
Absolutely, and not only that, we started making innovation in this product. So, to tell you, there are about 43 brands that are relevant today in Kerala. They all are importers.
Only for PVC boards.
Just for this. And happy to say that we are number one today, only because of the differentiation factor that one, we are manufacturing here, two, we have extremely brilliant product. We have something called as a 3-layer, which people are still catching on to. So this is a much more durable, much more reliable product than other PVC products. And as traders, people want to keep cutting on quality. We are keeping on increasing our quality and making it much better. So definitely expensive, but there is no questions asked, people will buy that.
And on the second product you told me about is the stainless steel water tanks. So what we see today is all plastic water tanks. Do you see there is a replacement possibility in that?
Very good question. The thing is that it's a project that I have taken. I don't know the future of this, but see, the thing is that people are drinking water, but unconsciously they don't know that they're drinking water which is stored in plastic tanks, and it is not good for the health.
It's carcinogenic because of that.
Absolutely, there's a lot of reaction that happens to the water that we are drinking, and people are drinking from PVC tanks today. When you travel Southeast Asia and you look on the rooftops, you would only see stainless steel water tanks.
Oh, okay.
So people have moved from cement to stainless steel water tanks. Unfortunately, in India, what has happened is we moved from cement tanks to plastic. This revolution didn't come into India. And I feel that uh, there is a revolution that should happen. People should be aware of the consequences of having water from PVC. With stainless steel, it is expensive, yes, but it is like an investment. You put stainless steel water tank, after 5-6 years you want to replace it, you want to make it bigger, whatever it is, whatever money that you have invested in this, you get it back, because stainless steel has
There's a value.
value for it. But PVC, you have to pay money to even to dispose it. So there are a lot of, but it's very difficult for us to be that first movers and to create that kind of awareness. We are striving towards it. Slowly, we are making inroads, and Kerala is
The best place to do.
one of the places in India which has started adopting this, and our market today size should be between 1,000 to 1,500 tanks a month.
Oh, okay.
That's the market potential. But if you see, ask me what is the potential truly, it is, you look around, everywhere that's your market. But it's just that we are not aware of this. And for us, it is when people start getting aware of it, when there is already a market sitting right there, then manufacturing becomes much more easier. And better.
And little bit coming into the brand. So you said you took the route of brand also. Like Dmax is the brand right now. I think earlier you had a brand called Jaihind, had a brand called Periyar Steels. No? So
Yeah,
I think from there, I think now Jain Tubes. How are you planning the brand building process on that?
Brand building process is very slow. It's something that you have to believe in the idea in yourself first, then it comes to others. And again, I always say that we are not building steel, we are building trust. just that it's made of steel.
Yeah.
So the whole building process is about creating trust, and consciously we know that everything that we do, there is a lot of process that goes behind, there's a lot of thinking that goes behind, and everything is around quality. We can't look into depreciate or declining in quality, but how do we innovate and make it better? And what is it that we can, what is a problem that we can solve for people? So those are the kind of things where that we keep on thinking, and we keep on innovating and start doing it.
So we'll just move into your YPO mindset or the leadership mindset, the legacy leadership mindset. So we are part of the YPO, and now you are the learning chair for YPO Kerala. You have been managing different set of people with a very calm thing. How do you do that? Because managing in a business, you can actually order and get things done. Here you cannot do that. It is like a collective format, and you have to be absolutely calm, and you have to be a more of a listener here, and then do. How do you manage that?
See, one, I trust the process. I trust that the people who are doing their job, they're doing it with full conviction. So, you can rely on that. So once someone says yes, okay, then it is a yes and or okay. You don't need to question it again. So that is one thing that I realized. And to to be calm, there's no other. I mean, what is the other option that you have?
But you strongly believe in the delegation process.
Absolutely. So this is something that I learned also from YPO into my organization, that creating leaders is very, very essential and critical for longevity of the organization, of the uh, process that you are in, like whether it is manufacturing or trading. You have to have your second line extremely strong. And secondly, I feel, and it's actually taught me to move from being a family business organization to move it or to develop it into an institution. Whether I'm there or not, the show must go on. So that is what I learned from this.
From this. See, how do you nurture the next generation of leaders within your company like this, like the process what you said? Is there any process for that, for nurturing this leadership thing? Delegation, definitely, you told me, but
So for any company to exist, you need to know the reason why. I mean, if you start from why, all your other things get answered very fast. There should be a reason for your existence. If you don't have a reason, if you don't have a purpose for existence, it becomes very difficult for yourself and for the generation to come also. So it is not about making them look into the money, but into the purpose of your existence. And once they know that they are working towards it, it just becomes an automatic thing. People are working towards that goal, towards that purpose.
extremely insightful, because for a trading business or a commodity thing, you can find a purpose in that thing is absolutely uh, incredible. So what is your tagline you on the purpose driven? Any line or something you have evolved into that company process?
So I say that we don't weld steel, but we weld value and purpose to it. Like if you can weld your value and principles, that's your legacy to the next generation.
I'll ask the final question and then open to the floor for
Absolutely.
the audience too. So when you look 10 years ahead, what's the molten dream you are chasing? Scale, brand, impact, legacy.
Scale,
10 years from here.
scale, brand, impact, and legacy. I would say impact. If I'm able to impact uh, my people, organization, uh, the industry as such, the nation, all other things will follow. If I'm able to impact in a positive way, brand gives you power. Um, what is the other thing?
Legacy,
Legacy and
scale.
so scale gives
Business
you
scale is very important.
Scale gives you strength, and legacy gives you meaning. And if you're able to impact people in a positive way, all these things will follow. It just becomes a byproduct of, you know, with your purpose driven organization.
So you start off with the impact, and the rest of the things will follow.
That's what I feel.
Thank you, Monu. Thank you so much for doing this session. So let's open the floor for the audience to ask any questions for that.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Alicia. So, my question is how do you see the modern technologies like AI and IoT tools that have been actually transforming the manufacturing steel industry? And I also want to know that what are the steps that have been taken by the Jaihind Steel in order to stay ahead of the curve?
Let's talk about the steel industry first, and then I will get into the AI. So, you know that India is the second largest producer of steel in the world. We have reached 120 million tons in FY24. China is the largest producer of steel. They manufacture 1,100 million tons of steel. And as a second, we are only 120. So you see that gap is huge. Second, if you see in the consumption pattern, India is one of the lowest in terms of consumption of steel,
Per capita.
per capita consumption of steel. We have just crossed 100. The world average is 260. China was at 700, today it's about 660 approx. So the gap is huge. And you see the kind of potential that India has towards, that's why steel industry for me is the place to be, because for the next 20, 30 years, that's your playground. That's where I see a huge potential. Now, to get into your question about AI, AI is going to be a part of us. What it's going to do is it's going to disrupt the supply chain, the value systems, and all those kind of things. What we have started doing is we have started moving from commodity business to product business. So, for example, we are talking about PEB, we are talking about steel tanks, we are talking about structural steel that we would know. Tomorrow, you want to build a house, you might not ask a trader or a shopkeeper. You might want to check first, which one should I get, and that this is the brand that I want, this is the kind of structure that I want to create for my house or my office or my factory. You would then ask us, and we would be able to give you even a 3D model or something within no time. Today, this entire process takes a lot of time. You start thinking, your place. Tomorrow, what happens is that you are able to give your Google image, and you're able to, see these are the things that I want in my factory or my home or whatever. It is done in no time. So this is the kind of change that we're going to see in the future.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. My name is Jayachandran.
Hi.
Yeah. See, basically, I've seen nowadays more buildings are coming up with iron and steel, like ready-made buildings, showrooms and things like that.
Correct.
Do you expect a future for that? And another thing is like whether houses and other buildings new buildings can come in that way. Because one thing is that you can see it's maybe in a short period of time we can finish a building, and it's if you want to dismantle and take it away, it's easily we can do it. So do you find any future for that?
Absolutely. See, that's what we are betting on. There is something called as LSG now, light gauge steel sections. So light gauge steel sections is going to revolutionize the way that you're going to build, houses in future also. If you see Pacific countries like Fiji and all those, they've already started adopting it. All the sections are made out of steel. You give your diagram, this is what I want, we feed into the system, and your structures are then produced by the machines. You just have to then assemble it like a Lego that you do, right? You have a Lego, you've seen the Lego, how it's been assembled. So you will get all your stuff, you have to start assembling like a Lego, and it is done in no time. So the speed and efficiency with which houses would be made in the future is going to be incredible. Factories, showrooms, all commercial buildings where all these heavy structures are required, that is also changed. Now people are not going into concrete buildings, they are moving from that to steel. And that's what our vision is. We are getting into that now. And to answer to your question, that particular industry is going between 15 to 18%, and
yeah.
and it's only going to increase in.
RCC to this one?
See, again, we are again looking into cost.
Primary cost.
There is a lot of commodity that's involved in it. So the steel prices vary, cement prices vary. You need to ask in which cycle that you're talking as of today. Today we are at 5-year low. Steel prices are still low. So building in steel buildings today is much more efficient. But if you would have asked me this question in 2020 or 2021, absolutely, the steel prices, cement prices soaring high. It's very, very expensive.
Hi, sir. My
Hello.
name is Shahzada Habib, and my question to you is that what is your long-term vision for YPO's role in shaping Kerala's or India's entrepreneurial ecosystem?
Wow.
Entrepreneurial ecosystem. People are looking at you.
So, for me, more than what I learnt in universities or in school, I learnt a whole lot in YPO. In YPO, we have something as a forum where you have between 8 to 10 members of leaders who are from different industries. So if I'm in steel, there'll be somebody else from the auto or from electronics and stuff like that. So what happens is if you have a problem or if you have an issue, we just discuss. You get an insight from a cohesive group from different viewpoints, and that is extremely powerful because my vision is from the background that I have, what I have seen, what I have learned in my particular organization in industry. They are coming from their from their background, so the kind of impact that will be there on that issue or that particular problem that is there is going to be extremely powerful and insightful. So, and to take that and to implement it is where the change happens. I have learned a lot, and for me, I feel I owe it to YPO that they have given me so much of learning that I am able to implement that in my business and grow it. This not only impacts me, it impacts the organization as a whole, and when it impacts the organization, it impacts the people who are there in the organization. And like I said, that for us, we realize that we have to create leaders to have longevity for the organization to be. And when you move from being a family owned business to an institution, what is happening is that you're giving that responsibility and the power to those people to take it forward, because it's not, then you don't see that organization is your own, but it is owned by everyone around you in that organization. So you empower them with that. That's what I learned with YPO.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Srikanth, and my question is about ESG. Do you view ESG compliance as a responsibility driven by regulation or as a strategic opportunity to gain competitive advantage? So, as a manufacturer, what is your view on ESG?
No, it's absolutely essential. So, as a steel industry, you have so much of byproducts. It's only when we were setting up our industry, I realized that the kind of byproducts that we have earlier and still in North India, if you see, people are misusing this. When we do galvanizing, there are acid flows outside, and what we are doing is we are regenerating the entire acid into water. uh, we have something called as, so our company, our factory is a ZLD, that is zero liquid discharge. There's no liquid discharge from our factory at all. So you don't affect or pollute the environment outside. What happens is that the entire ecosystem around you is still healthy, and you are able to breathe better. If you go to North India where all these kind of industries are set up, you see the kind of health people are having. You can't stand there. It's extremely toxic to be inside that place also. So for us, when we are thinking, we are thinking from human point of view, where they have to, these are people who are going to be working there, they're going to be breathing inside that. You can't have all this kind of toxicity inside their working environment. So it is more of being empathetic towards people, towards environment and the future. So ESG is just not these guidelines that are there is a purpose to the whole thing. And what I realize is also it is good for us also. Like for example, the solar, we are able to cut down our cost in manufacturing, because we have our own solar plant over there.
My name is Maya. I would like to know who was your inspiration or guru during your early 20s?
In my early
Early 20s.
my early 20s
20s or 30s, you can say.
my early 20s My early 20s, I don't remember. No, but my father and my mother, I used to see my dad hustle, and he was my role model at that point of time. I just wanted to be like, he had this aura around him, where he used to motivate and inspire people around him. So, I've seen that, and he truly inspired me at that point of time.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Dilshad, and my question is about green steel. Do you think green steel is affordable and adaptable? And how long will it take the steel industry to shift from traditional methods to reduce carbon emissions?
See, it's a long process. We are still in the evolution stage in this regard. Um, so what happens is, in blast furnaces, there's a lot of pollution that happens. And what happens in green steel is basically they used hydrogen. And with hydrogen, so the process of making steel is, from iron ore, you're removing the oxygen, and that becomes your molten steel. When we use coal based industry, that becomes CO2, and that is harmful. With hydrogen, you're replacing that carbon to hydrogen, and that is not harmful. But the problem is, how do you generate that hydrogen? That is where we are trying to understand. That process is being built now, and we are still in a very nascent stage. Difficult to say whether we are going to be successful in this or not, but it looks like it is a long journey. Although it is a very good initiative, and I feel that we should be closer to finding the right solution for it.
Hi, sir. My name is Anina, and my question is, what are the cultural differences that you noticed being a Marwari in Kerala, and how did it help you in your business?
Cultural differences.
Yeah.
I'm now a Malayali. What do you say?
Second, third generation.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, how it is different, when you came to Kerala years back, but what difference you felt? Even though you're from a Marwari background,
Yeah.
what differences you felt?
See, let's see. So as Marwadis, there was they came from um, scarcity. So their background was, coming from a desert land and with nothing at all. They started from a very, very humble beginning, from absolutely nothing. So imagine that thought process. They come from scarcity. We all have been fortunate enough that we come from abundance in Kerala.
Kerala, yeah.
So the kind of thought process is very different. For them, saving is the first priority. Everything goes around saving, because they've seen that past. So for them, that first thing that comes in their mind is saving. They would be extremely rooted, very, very humble, and you won't even realize, the kind of wealth that they'll have if you talk to them, because, it's never been shown. So that is where they come from. But we've been extremely fortunate enough that in Kerala we have been uh, abundant of resources, amazing water, air, everything around us is just beautiful around. So we come from a very different background. They come from a very different background. So for me, it was good to see both and to understand and learn from both. That's where I come from.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Asif, and my question is, if you had any advice, would you give to your younger self? What would it be?
Younger self,
To your younger self.
a lot. I have made lot of mistakes in my life, uh, and I think the few things that comes to my mind is about being patient. You know, uh, as a trader, you are extremely restless. As a manufacturer, you become more patient and process driven. As a manufacturer, you don't understand that initially that this is how it is. So, and I made a lot of mistakes. Being that, I think to my younger self, I would always say to be patient and to have a larger vision and to look at the have a long term strategy. That only I learnt later in life. Earlier, it was all about today, tomorrow, today, tomorrow.
From your wonderful journey, I would like to know the definition of success.
It is something that I have not, I can't tell what it is because I don't know. I'm still in the journey. And I feel to be thankful and grateful for every single day that comes your way. Uh, if you maybe 10 years or 15 years down, maybe I'll come to know, I'll definitely let you know. But as of today, I'm happy, I'm content, and I feel because my parents, I'm also grounded. uh, Success to me is uh, is about still chasing my dream. I don't know if I'm able to achieve that as of today, but in future definitely. When it happens to me, I'll definitely let you know.
Thank you, Manu. Thank you, Manu. It's a big round of applause too.
Thanks.
To be honest, I didn't expect that this podcast will go like this because we are dealing with steel, we are dealing with commodities, and what kind of storyboards you can pull it off. But it's an amazing story, very impactful story, and a lot of takeaways. For me, I think the first takeaway was the girlfriend and marriage. Uh, so I think it's always good to have both hats. So to keep you have the adrenaline rush at the same time you keep you grounded also. So an interesting part on that, and especially I like the way for a commodity or for an infrastructure which is kind of actually boring, but you make it so lively, and you put it with so much of passion into it and impactful into it. Today we all like to be in the steel business today. To be honest, I'm seriously, I've never touched steel as a in a stock or in a security business because it is steel. End of the day, it's all steel. But today you have put in more of passion into it. I'm so happy that we had this session, and thank you,
Thank you.
Manu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
For taking this or bringing this good to great session into a more eventful session for.
Thank you so much. And also for me, it was, there are a lot of these questions that I don't ask myself, right? And you guys gave me a lot of perspective about my own business, about myself. And I really want to thank you and everyone here. Thank you so much for for letting me know a lot about myself during this journey. Thank you.
And thank you, and Anuja and Auntie for here. Because his mother is also here, his wife is also here. So his wife he's going to have a problem later. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and blessing us for this podcast session. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Thank you.